Hello, everybody. I'm Vedika Agarwal and I'm an MBA student from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. This is my first video on my channel, and today I'm going to share some tips to crack the Unilever summer internship. For those who do not know about this summer internship, every MBA school has a 2 month summer internship program, and Unilever leadership internship program is one of the most coveted summer internship, especially in the field of marketing. So I was the ULIP intern in the year 2022, and I have made this video to share my tips on how to crack this internship and to get the much coveted PPO. So without further ado, let's start. Like I mentioned that I was a ULIP intern in 2022, and I was interning with the brand development team of Red Label Tea in the food and beverages department. So tell you briefly about how the teams work in HUL. Usually, if you are allotted a brand, there will be two parts to it. One will be the brand development and one will be the brand building. So, just to give you very brief idea. So, brand development looks into the packaging, marketing, communications part of any product, whereas brand building looks into the sales aspects and how to further the reach of the product. So, in case you are into the marketing domain and you are allotted either of brand building and brand development team, this is the much needed video that you need to see to ace the internship. So here I have prepared a 6 week plan on how you need to approach the internship and how to make the most of each of these 6 weeks. So the reason I had made this video because when I started my internship, I did not have much of help. So I wasted about 1.5 week on what to do and where to go and what to start. So to all the upcoming ULIP interns, this is the video that you need to keep a track of. So in week one, you will be getting your charter, which is like the expectations written by your tutor about what you need to do in the 6 months of internship. So in the week one, you need to get clarity on your tutor, from your tutor on the project charter. The other stakeholder that you will be need to connect is your coach. So coach is exactly one level ahead in terms of hierarchy, but in the different departments. So my tutor was from the brand manager, senior brand manager of Red Label Tea, while my coach was a general manager of the Surf Excel product. So usually there is no same department between the tutor and coach. So you can share your understandings and express what is your understanding of the charter and both of them will have their own expectations. So the outcome of your project will be decided by the tutor. In week 2 and 3, you will be start speaking to your consumers, go for a market visits, go and make stakeholder visits. You will be guided by your tutor on how you need to book a consumer. Bookings in terms of consumer basically means that you need to speak to a lot of consumers on what they think about the product or what they're expecting so that you can get their insights to work on your charter. Uh, in week 2 and 3, also you need to connect with your coach and buddy as well, so that you can tell them that this is the charter is, and this is what I have been doing so far, and this is how I will take it, and I'm going to present this in my mid review. So you need to take in the feedback from both the tutor and coach and apply because believe it or not, your decision if you will get a PPI is decided during the mid review only. Only in very selected circumstances it is changed after the final presentation, but the first impression is the last impression, and during the mid review, your decision has already been made. So your first 4 weeks are extremely crucial. So, also to make sure in week 2 and 3 that whatever you are doing, make sure that there's no dead end in terms of the content that you're doing. So, you and tutor need to sit and see where this charter will take you, and will there be any actual outcome, something that is not repetitive. Make sure you're doing something new that has not been explored so far. So in week four, once you're done with your consumer insights, stakeholder visits, and your analysis, start dumping everything in your PPT. While the PPT needs to be very less in words, make sure you put all your work in terms of appendix. So even if your final presentation is of just 4 slides, make sure that you add everything and make it like 40, 50 page or kind of appendix. No one will see appendix, but make sure that your work is there in the appendix, because sometimes the decisions are made on the basis of the slides. So if your final presentation gets circulated via your coach, general manager, or tutor, they will be able to see that how much of work you have done. So many students do not put all of their work into the appendix, and they just put the final analysis into the slide. So make sure you do not make this mistake. So once the your mid review is done, immediately take the feedback from your tutor, because your tutor will also get the feedback from his manager. So in mid review, two stakeholders mainly analyze: your tutor and his boss, which is your skip manager. And also please share your presentation with your coach and do inform him or her that how did your mid review go. So once you get the feedback from your tutor's boss and your coach, try to implement all of that in the upcoming 2 to 3 weeks for your final presentation. So week 5 and week 6 is about course correction, whatever you have gotten as feedback, and for implementation of a pilot. So what is a pilot basically? So in week 2 to 3, you will be making some hypothesis that I want to implement this, and to implement this, I believe that actions A and B will be helpful to achieve this goal. So you make a very small kind of a pilot or an experiment where you will be briefly test plan A and B on selected consumers, so that you get an idea that if this plan is implemented on a larger scale, will this bring me the desired results. So HUL values a great level of importance on pilots. If your project has a pilot, it will make a lot of impact on the leadership team. So your tutor and coach will be informing you about all of this, but make sure that in case your project demands that it needs a pilot, make sure that you are thorough with the pilot and with its results during week 5. And in week 6, you need to connect with your coach with your final presentation. Help sit down with your tutor and try on the storyboarding for the final presentation, and make sure that you circulate your final presentation with your colleagues and other interns, your buddy, your coach, tutor, so that they can check for final feedback. Apart from these this on your final presentation and your project, make sure that you make most of this internship, because the contacts and the relationships you will be making during this 6 to 7 weeks will be most cherished throughout your life. So you interact with the cohort of your internship, understand their charter, because their charter will also give you a lot of understanding about how the organization works. HUL will be conducting a lot of leadership sessions, and they will be sharing their experiences. So make sure that you listen properly to these internship sessions, because they will also give you a lot of insights on your project, on how to approach your project. Apart from these sessions and your help from tutor, coach, buddies, a lot of internal tools are also provided that gives you an insight at how HUL decks are made, what resources that you can access, and a lot of other teams that are there to help you on the project, like consumer and marketing insights team that share all types of research or how the trends of the marketing industry or food industry or FMCG industry are. Then there is the R&D team, which will help you if your product needs an R&D update, or if you have a particular hypothesis, is it even implementable from the R&D sides? And then there is Unilever SharePoint, where a lot of team decks across the organization are shared. So you will find various decks from each of the departments: food and beverages, beauty, and home and wellness. So make sure that in your free time you keep going through these decks. So even if you're in the marketing department, make sure that you also see some decks from sales department or finance department, so that you get a comprehensive understanding of the entire organization. And same goes for finance. So if you're from finance side, make sure that you also get an understanding from your marketing interns and the marketing decks. So now, most importantly, on how to make the most of the 3 most important people that you will be interacting in your internship. So what one mistake I made, that I did not keep what are the expectations of my tutor and coach, and maybe did not manage well, and I So this video will help you on how to make the most of these three stakeholders. So tutor is the person who will give you a charter. He's like immediate boss of yours, and he's the deciding person if you will get a pre-placement internship. So he's almost like your friend where you will be sharing your thoughts on projects, if we can go do this way or that way, and he will correct because this charter is his brainchild. He he wants to implement this together with you. So make sure that you express yourself freely to the tutor. Usually these are senior brand managers and they have very less time to interact. So usually make sure that you at least book a 30-minute slot with your tutor 3 times a week so that you can share your expectations and insights from your market visits and where are you on your PPT. Make sure that you constantly share what are you working. Even he or she doesn't reply you on mail, make sure that you keep sending because that way they also check your professional. So most important stakeholder here, according to me, is coach. Usually coach is senior in hierarchy to the tutor, as I mentioned, but they do have a lot of say. Usually these are very senior people, and in on the basis of 2 to 3 interactions, they will be able to check if you are fit for the organization. So while tutor checks if you are right in way in terms of your analysis approach and you have the right mindset to work on a project, a coach is basically who will check if you're right fit for the actual, if you are here for the long term, if you have the right personality or the people skills. So usually you will get 3 to 4 connects in 2 months, and make sure that you express your aspirations to the coach and tell them how much you're interested in this internship. And at the same time, they will also help you if you're stuck in your project, and they will also try and speak to your tutor in case there's an issue. Make sure that you take in and loop in your coach's feedback into your presentation because they also have a say. The third most important person is the buddy. So usually these will be from your own college to help you through the internship. They will give you all the formal and informal ideas about the internship. They will be very supporter of yours so that you also crack the PPO, and they will be sharing their own decks and own experiences to guide. So make sure that you connect with your buddies at least once a week and try to tell him or her that where are you on your project or where are you stuck because they have been into the system for about 2 to 3 years, about a year. So they will be able to guide you through the project. So next, I'm going to share some strategy on how to hack the final internship presentation or maybe the mid review on how you because these is it's a marketing company. They value a lot on how you deliver your content. So some of the hacks that I got to know from my friends and seniors, so I'm here to share. So before your final presentation, make sure that you have a mock kind of a session because we were like 70 plus interns and we made groups of 5 to 6 people and then we had mocks in a guest house. So make sure that you prepare your speech and are thorough with your presentation, practice with your colleagues and your tutor. The story boarding is very important. You cannot just go and say in a mechanical way that I did this consumer insight and I got this analysis. No, you need to be very expressive in your thoughts. HUL values PPTs that are less of text and more of visuals. So if you can put in data for some of the analysis, it will be greatly valued. If your Excel skills are very good, try to put in some visualizations because they're not going to read through the texts. Fourth, like I mentioned, that even if your analysis is like this, you need to put a lot in all your workings from day one to last day, or in the terms of your appendix into the final PPT. Even during the final presentation, one of the mistakes that I made in my final presentation was that even though I was very calm during the presentation, I was not able to handle the Q&A very calmly, and I was answering the same things repeatedly. So that was why one of the feedback that I got. So make sure that you smile and show your energy and calmness all during the PPT and answer the Q&A very calmly. There'll be 7 to 8 senior leadership, and they will each of them will be asking different questions. So make sure that you listen to them very carefully and answer. And definitely put in your share insights and takeaways from your pilot, and do put it into the final PPT. Now, once you're done with your mid review final presentation, Every intern from an HUL expects a PPI and then a PPO. But even if you are one of the most stellar performers, like it was the case with me, even if you have got the PPI, it is not sure that you will crack the PPO because the final interview is being taken by the managerial committee of the organization and they do not value the project. They basically check how fit you are from organization perspective and if you have the right skills to survive into the organization. So even if you're super in your in terms of Excel analysis, PPT making, or sales skills, none of it will be given importance, but your people skills and your aspirations. So some of the learnings that I got from my pre-placement internship, unfortunately, I could not crack the PPU, but here are my takeaways that I always share it with my juniors. So first is that they will like to see your intent. Why are you here for the interview? Why you want to start your career with HUL? So you trust them with the fact that you are here to start and end your career with HUL, how you would like to see yourself in the leadership position till the end of your life. One of some of the frequent questions that you will be asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Which is like you want to go ahead and work for this brand, tell them your favorite brand, tell your HUL story, how I was born seeing the HUL brands like tea, shampoos, and detergents, how you connect to the ads like the Agache kind of. So tell them an emotional connect that you have with the company and the brands, and how you would like to see yourself as a brand manager working for this particular brand like Fair and Lovely or Dove or Tresemme. Usually they will ask your HR questions like what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, what are your learnings from the projects. So you will be asked a question on your how was your journey with the project and what impact and what implementation did you so be very thorough with the uh, your project insights. And then one of the frequent questions that they will also ask that once you start your career as a ULFP, which is like the management trainee stint at HUL after the placements, usually you will be given sales stints, which are very difficult. Like 3 years, you will be given an area sales manager where you'll be going to different tier two, tier three remote towns. So you have to show them that you are willing to put up through these difficult phases of your work and you are here to learn and sail through these sales and marketing and then you are ready to learn the lessons and go ahead in a career to be a brand manager. Show them that you are willing to take these stints and how useful they will be in your molding a personality. So many of the times that these students kind of do not like to go through these sales stints and they express their uh, uh, dissatisfaction with these kind of stints, but make sure that you are here for sales, you're here for marketing, and HUL is here to mold your personality. And most importantly, be very open-minded and be very confident. And I'm very sure that you will crack your final PPI and to get the final PPO. I hope this internship was useful. In case you have any questions, you can drop me an email or put in your the comments. This video is not only helpful for people who are going to intern with HUL, but for any marketing internship, for example, the coveted programs of Marico, Colgate, PNG, or ITC. I even myself got insights from my friends interning at PNG and ITC, and this internship will be very useful for all of the marketing internships. So here is a very small glimpse from my 2022 ULIP internship deck. So in case you want to see and go through my deck, please drop in your email in the comments and I will share this deck with each one and all of you. So thank you very much and all the best for your 2 month internship. Make the most out of it, learn and contribute as much as possible. Thank you.